It's the start of a new year and you're motivated. This year you're going to the gym regularly, you're going to write that book and learn a new language. But after a couple of weeks, there's a little left of these New Year's resolutions. You feel frustrated, maybe even guilty. You wonder if you'll ever change. The problem? You may be focusing on the wrong thing. Hi, I'm Steven, founder of Personal Power-Ups, and today I'm sharing how you can build good habits with identity-based habits. By the end of this video, you'll have 3 actionable steps to transform the way you build habits. James Clear explains identity-based habits in his book Atomic Habits. There are 3 layers to behavior change. Outcomes, so what you achieve, processes, what you do, and your identity, who you are. Here's the thing, most people approach habits backwards. They focus on outcomes, so what they want to achieve. For example, you might say, I want to lose weight or I want to write a book. Then you may look at the processes needed to achieve these outcomes. This way of approaching behavior change is called outcome-based habits. But this approach overlooks the most important factor, who you need to become to achieve those goals. After all, if your actions don't align with how you view yourself, it's hard to make your habits last. And the more proud you are of a certain part of your identity, the more motivated you'll be to maintain the habits that are part of that identity. This is where identity-based habits come in. Instead of starting with the achievement, you start with the person you want to be. The goal is not to lose weight, the goal is to become a healthy and fit person. And the goal is not to write a book, the goal is to become a writer. As James Clear says, true behavior change is identity change. So how do you actually apply this in your life? Let's break it down into 3 actionable steps. Step 1. Shift your focus from outcome to identity and pick an identity that suits your habits. So instead of saying, I want to run a marathon, say, I'm a runner. Instead of saying, I want to read 50 books this year, say, I'm a reader. See the difference? When you adopt an identity, your habits naturally align with that identity. You're not forcing yourself to act in a certain way, you're simply being consistent with the type of person you believe you are. And here's why this works. Your actions flow from your beliefs. If you see yourself as a runner, you'll naturally start running. If you see yourself as a reader, you'll prioritize reading. It's no longer about trying to achieve a certain goal, it's about staying true to who you are. Now that you've chosen the identity you want to adopt, how do you actually build and reinforce it? Well, that's step number 2. One of the best ways to reinforce and build your identity is through small wins. Every time you take an action that aligns with your desired identity, it's like casting a vote for the person you want to become. The more votes you cast, the stronger that identity becomes. Let's say you want to become a runner. Your first small win could be putting on your running shoes and walking around the block. A small but important action. By doing that, you're proving to yourself, I'm the kind of person who prioritizes fitness. Over time, those small wins add up and solidify your identity. Here's another example. If you want to become a writer, your small win could be writing just 1 paragraph a day. The key is consistency. Every small action strengthens your belief in your new identity. The beauty of small wins is that they're manageable and sustainable. You don't need to overhaul your entire life overnight. Just focus on proving your identity to yourself, 1 small action at a time. The third and final step is to make your identity-based habits automatic. Once you've started building momentum, it's important to remove as much friction as possible. Here's how. First, use cues to trigger your habits. For example, if you want to become a reader, leave a book on your nightstand. If you want to be a runner, set out your workout clothes the night before. These visual cues remind you of your identity and make it easier to take action. Second, pair your new habit with an existing routine. This is called habit stacking. For instance, if you want to meditate daily, you could pair it with brushing your teeth. After brushing your teeth, you meditate for 2 minutes. Linking your new habit to something you already do makes it easier to remember. Finally, track your progress. You don't need a fancy system, a simple checklist or habit tracker works just fine. The goal isn't perfection, it's consistency. Tracking helps you see the progress you're making and keeps you motivated to keep going. I've added several helpful habit trackers in the description below. Remember, the goal is to make these habits a natural part of your life. The easier they are to do, the more likely they are to stick. These are the 3 steps to transform your life with identity-based habits. Start by choosing the identity you want to adopt, reinforce it with small wins, and make your habits automatic. It's not about being perfect, it's about proving to yourself who you really are. One action at a time. Which identity are you going to focus on first? Let me know in the comments below. And if you'd like to know more about building good habits and quitting bad ones, I've added several resources in the description below. If you found this video helpful, be sure to like and subscribe so you never miss a new power-up. Thanks for watching and see you next time.